What? Welcome back to the tangent plant, where we just kind of start talking and see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's Colton. How was your day, Colton?
Well, better than yours.
Oh, you know what? So we're gonna talk about this. I set a tone, don't be rude.
You started it.
You called me an idiot
Five,
last
4,
time.
3, 2, 1. You're gay.
I hope it makes it in there. Hope it does.
So, how's that? How's that barely flowing water in South Whitley?
Oh, well, you know what? Thank you for telling my place where I live, Hicksville, Ohio.
They
Well,
can
the
fucking
water's
use our IP address. It's whatever.
Yeah, the water is doing fine. The pressure kind of was low because I had every sink and faucet going at the same time. So, and the washer. So that kind of nibbled that in the butt. You're such a good friend. So, other
That's all
than
right.
that,
I'm on a well, so that's pretty much every day for us. If I've got the kitchen sink going or the dishwasher, you can't run the clothes washer and the dishwasher at the same time and then expect to try to take a shower.
yeah, that's fair.
So I'm constantly in the same boat.
I feel like dishwashers use so much water. Like
Well,
it's
ours, I'm fairly certain is original to the house back in '92, so it uses as much water as you can give it.
yeah. Fair. Which to me, okay, here's the thing. And this is everybody's be like, oh, you're so stupid for saying that. When I was a teenager, I'm like, if I have a dishwasher, what is the point of me washing the dishes before I put them in there? At
Yeah,
that point, I'll just wash the dishes. Like,
we rinse them to get all the schmutz off, but
yeah,
my grandma to this day hand washes dishes and then puts them in the dishwasher clean. I'm like, Grandma,
so does mine.
what are you doing? That's what we have. Technology.
Yeah, technology.
The future is now, old man. Like, we have robots that do that for us now.
But my grandmother used scalding hot water. That's where I get it from. Like when I was a kid, I was
No,
like, how do you wash dishes like this? But now as an older person, like I wash my
as an older person,
yeah,
as an elder,
yeah,
31
as an
years old,
elder. Yeah, I wash my dishes like with scalding hot water. And I
I
learned to
can't.
clean from her.
I'm a big puss. My wife makes fun of me all the time because she'll have the water on some level of scalding hot lava, and she'll
Uh-huh.
just be in there doing whatever, and I go to touch it, and it's like, ah, fuck! I just lost a finger in this hot ass water, and she's like, what's the matter with you, you puss?
Well, I love when I was a teenager, my mom, the house we moved into had an electric water heater. And I don't know if you know anything about those, but we never ran out of hot water. You could take a 2-hour shower
Uh,
and
one of them
never
fancy inline on demand.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah, we don't
bro.
have one of
And
those,
I would fall
but
asleep in the
our water
shower.
heater is like 100 fucking gallons. It's huge.
Really?
Yeah, we never will run out of hot water
Yeah.
just because we have so much of it.
I used to fall I would wash and then I would just slay it, like, I would sit in the shower, and many a times I'd fall asleep. I would just, like especially, like, late at night, I would take, like, long showers. Well, here's the thing,
Yeah,
this is gonna s
okay, as a teenager, "Oh, I fell asleep in the shower, mom."
I no, I dude, I'm serious. I would fall asleep. Well, the thing of it is that I had neon lights or, like, LED lights in my bedroom and stuff, or, like and I had a giant neon four-leaf clover light in my bathroom. And
Cute.
so what I would do is I would just turn that light on and turn the lights off. And so it was real dark in there, dude. And you would just get this scalding hot water. And I was just like in heaven, bro. How many times I fell asleep just knocked, just trying. And then I'd wake up like 2 hours later and my skin would be so pruny.
You look like a lobster, also a nutsack because you're so pruned up. You're lucky you didn't drown.
Well, it's a shower.
Well, I know, but if you, like, slip it or you fall asleep and you start sliding down and all of a sudden you get waterboarded.
Never worried about it. Well, because like my body was as long as the shower. So I would just put my feet, I would basically just set my feet right there and I would just sit and then I would just sit back. And I had one of those, I would place a towel right there. Dude, and also like as a man,
Bougie.
I'm not scared to say it at all. I didn't mind baths. Baths weren't like a terrible, especially after I got out of the gym and I was stupid sore. I would take a hot bath, like an Epsom salt bath. Oh, dude, fantastic.
I could never take baths because I'd just be in there jerking off the whole time.
Oh my gosh, cold. But what so you would just be sitting in coming water the whole
That's
time?
why that's why I could never take baths because it would be I'd be just swimming with little mucus guys, little tub
Just have
slugs.
some discipline. Just have
Couldn't do
some
it. Couldn't do it.
yeah,
Nope.
well, to each
Couldn't
their
do
own,
it.
I guess. I never was a big fan of doing that in the shower, that just wasn't my thing. Like, I didn't
Making
enjoy that.
slinging shower slugs.
Yeah, my god. That wasn't my that wasn't my go-to. But hey, to each their
I
own,
I
everybody's
would
different.
get yelled at. Like, I used to post divorce, I pretty much lived at my grandparents' house on both sides. And well, while in the what was it, 9 or 10 months my dad was in Iraq, I lived with my grandparents pretty much like on his days that was scheduled in the court. I would go live with
Yeah.
my grandparents while he was gone. And pretty regularly my grandpa would come knocking on the door. What are you doing in there? It's time to leave. Cause I'd be in there for
Yeah.
like 45 minutes just jerking off.
I my problem when I
As
was
one does when you're 14 and disturbed from family trauma.
I mean, yeah, at least you weren't out there, like, slitting rabbits' throats. So, actually, speaking of slitting rabbits' throats, I haven't told this story on here, but
Uh-oh.
it wasn't me slitting throats. So, my grandparents lived in Kentucky, and I would go down south all the time. They lived up in a holler, and at the mouth of the holler, there was this road, and across the road was this really nice brick house, like, really nice brick house. And I can't remember this dude's name, but he was always doing some weird stuff. Well, one day I went for a jog and I would stand at the bottom of it, and I would stretch because he had a really cute sister. And that was like my age. She might have been
Nice.
like a year older than me. Yeah. And so I would stretch and stuff and just like look around and put my headphones in. Well, one day he had like five cats, like they're lined up and they were buried to their neck in the ground. And so they were just sitting there in the ground and
I
meowing.
foresee a push mower coming.
And well, no, it was a riding mower,
Mm,
and he comes around in a riding mower, dude, and I mean, just whiffing them off. So
yeah.
I'm standing there in awe, and his sister sees me, I'm guessing from inside, and walks across the street to talk to me. And she goes, "Oh, this is nothing. A couple weeks ago, he found like three cats and put them in a pillowcase and just beat them against the side of the house." And I was like, "Oh
What the
my
hell?
god, yeah, man!" I was like, "He's gonna murder people." I was like, "There's
I
something."
used to I used to work with a guy, um, as when I was a diesel mechanic years ago. He said he growing up and his brother had been in and out of the penitentiary, but he would do that shit. Like, he would tie cats' tails together and hang them over a clothesline and just
Mhm.
watch them fight each other to death. Or he said there was one time where he did that, where he buried a bunch of cats, like 6 or 8 of them all in a line like you're planting carrots. Buried them up to their necks and run them over with a push mower. It's like, and then he said, "Yeah, he's been in and out of prison most of his life." I was like, "Yeah, it makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes sense."
that may I
When I
just wanna
was
clarify for why I laughed is because the way you said, like, planting carrots, like, nothing else goes in a row except for carrots.
I had a girlfriend back in like 5th grade of elementary school. She lived right across the mile. I could ride my dirt bike through the woods and get to her house. And her granddad, she lived her and her mom and her sisters lived with her grandma and grandpa. That's who lived over there. And her there was this white cat. It was like an outside barn cat, but it was this real pretty, pure white cat. Real nice dude. Come right up to you and rub his head on your legs and stuff. There was one day we were out piddling around with one of them air pump pellet guns, and this is what really instilled firearm safety into me. But her girlfriend, then her one of her older sisters, come up, said, "You want to see something crazy? Watch this." Thinking that the pellet gun was empty, filled it full of pumped it full of air, and was like, "This cat's gonna go crazy. Watch this," and puts that gun straight to his head.
Oh,
Just thinking that a puff of air is gonna come out and it's gonna freak out,
yeah.
and blows a pellet straight through the bottom jaw of this cat, top of the head through its neck, and it just seizes up and starts pumping blood out of its head. And I was like, "Why didn't you?" I was like, however old you are in 5th grade, I was like, "Why didn't you check to see if the gun was empty before you shot it at the cat?" You know,
Yeah,
and
gosh.
I can still remember that, like my first ever like traumatizing murder experience.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't know how many people have more than one traumatizing murder experience in their life, but
There's a couple. That's alright. We live to see another day unlike those cats and people.
yeah.
Um, yeah, 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 but it's okay. It's
Or,
alright.
I'll leave that out.
Same place. I was in Kentucky. This has nothing to do with cats. This has something to do with just my
Oh, good.
grandpa.
Change the subject.
Yeah, my grandpa, myself, and my grandpa's neighbor would sit because, like, the way their house was, they had, like, a house in the holler, and they had a patch of land where they grew a garden, and then down at the base where that road was that ran across there was another garden, and his friend and neighbor, Russell, he would plant stuff there too, and we would sit there and just watch there's nothing to do down there. It's full of mountains, and it's just that's it. There's and I'm just with a bunch of old people all the time.
Mhm.
And so we would just sit there. Well, one day there was this dude who was wearing a white t-shirt, like a big white t-shirt and like shorts, and he's flying up and down this road with this moped. I mean, flying. And my Russell was like, "Well, just watch. He'll crash. Watch. He'll crash." And I was like, "He seems fine." He'd gone up the road and he was probably in his 20s. This guy had been going up and down the road. I don't know if he was high on something or just bored,
Probably
but
just
sure.
bored.
And there was
Nothing else
telephone
to do in the
poles.
holler but threatening on killing yourself.
Yeah, and there was nothing to do. There was telephone poles on either side or our side. This happened on our side, but there's telephone poles. And he went down maybe like his however manyth time, and he was flying, dude, and he just wasn't paying attention. He went right into one of those telephone poles, and the moped was wrapped around one, and then he was wrapped around the other one. And so they had to have a
Nice.
helicopter come down and, like, pick him up, and Russell's like, "I told you."
One helicopter for one half of him and one helicopter for the other half of him.
Yeah, I there's a really sad story about Russell. I mean, I wish well, no, it's about my other grandpa's. It's about his other neighbor. He was an old coal miner, and his wife was something else. She was just a different woman, and his son was just a piece as well. But he was a really nice guy. I would sit and talk to him all the time. He gave me these really cool boots. He's like, "I've worn them once." Really just nice guy. I still have they're awesome boots. But a couple years later, and he was trying to get Social Security, and he was denied. And so he's sitting there cleaning a shotgun with this kid who's like a 30-year-old dude and his wife in there. He gets done cleaning it, loads around, racks it, and pops himself in front of them so they could claim like the insurance money or whatever.
Hell yeah.
5 days later, he gets a letter in the mail saying that there was a mistake and he'd been approved for his disability or for whatever. And so he
Damn it.
killed himself for no reason.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, really sad story. And then his wife, went and married one of his son's friends who was
Hell yeah.
significantly younger. I mean, like I said, there's nothing to do that in there. So that guy, whoever that friend was, like, I'm getting this money.
Yeah, that's right.
And sure
Roll
enough,
Tide.
he did. Yeah. And had to deal. She would go to the post office. She would go to the post office and people would throw away their mail and she'd pick it up and read it. She'd bring it home. And she goes, "It's fine. It's in the trash." I was like, "In a federal building. You can't
Yeah.
take
That's
the
still a
mail."
crime. You
Yeah,
can't
it's still a
open
crime.
people's mail.
She goes, "I can see why this lady was so mad." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "This lady's AT&T bill is $1,500." I was like,
Jeez,
"How did you
wow.
get that? How did you get that?" And she goes, "Well, I picked it up out of the trash when she threw it away." And I was like, "What are you?" I think they
What are
just
you
have nothing better
doing?
else to do, bro. So it's just like,
Yeah.
better find out what this person has going on in their life that's wrecking them and making them all pissed off. I don't know,
I
dude.
can't
Really
imagine fucking
wild.
$1,300 phone bill. Jeez, she's
Well,
gotta have
who
like
knows?
15 lines on that shit.
Yeah, I don't know if she was telling the truth about the money on it, but I know that she was very certain that that was a lot of money for a phone bill, and she could tell why that lady was upset.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay, well, that's fine." So, I don't know, dude, just going down there, I would spend my summers in Kentucky and Virginia, and my grandparents in Kentucky on my dad's side lived, like, outside of Prestonsburg, Kentucky, so it's in the mountains, and then my other family lived, like, an hour and a half away from there, outside of Norton, Virginia, and so and it's just vastly different. Like, going that hour and a half, it's not really even the accents, it's just, like I wouldn't say the part of Kentucky I was at was impoverished, but it was a little bit more than when I would go to Virginia. Like, it just
Mm.
was a lot in Virginia, it just seemed a little bit more proper. In Kentucky, it was like and I know this isn't I'm not trying to stereotype anybody or, like, talk
Yeah,
badly,
you
but
are.
it would be like okay, but it would be it would be like a trailer that looks run down, but sitting in the driveway is like a brand new Camaro or a Challenger, and you're like, "Okay, what's going on here? Like, what's the priorities?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of them around here too.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, for sure, where I live too, it's the same like, it's kind of the same thing, so I can't be upset with
Yeah.
them, but I don't know. Again, it's not talking bad, but also there's just not a lot to do down there. If you don't drive a semi or work on a strip mine or
Yeah.
distributor or drive a coal truck or work for the like highway department, you're working at McDonald's or Walmart and there's only so much you can do with that.
Right.
So
Well, I
I get
mean,
it.
yeah, these days
Well, some of those store managers do make guap. Like those Walmart and Kroger's and like stuff like they make big money.
when I worked for a excavating company for a little while, and we did all the underground for the Panda Express that went in over by the Mire on the east side of town, in Fort Wayne.
Oh, in Lima.
No, on Maysville,
Oh,
over
okay.
over over off 469 there.
Oh, okay.
And they put up the sign that said now hiring, blah, blah, blah. And it broke it down to, shit or fry cooks and cashiers and went all the way up to store managers and district managers and all that. Like the store managers broke 100,000 a year. It's like $120,000 a year or something to
Mhm.
run a damn chain restaurant. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
Like
wild.
I'm in the wrong damn business.
Well, in McDonald's, I had an ex and her sister-in-law was like a manager there, and she was trying to become a store manager because they give you a car. They give you like
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff. And for Christmas, she wouldn't really give gifts. She'd give you like 50 free meal coupons. Like you
Dang.
get whatever you want. And I mean, it
Yeah.
would be a stack, bro, every year. That's
Dang.
just like what she did. Yeah. She
Hell
ran it
yeah.
up with those things. And I mean, they would say for medium, but if you're like, I'd like a large, this and that, nobody ever said, well, this is just for a medium. Everybody always, and it
Must
wasn't like, yeah,
just had to go at the right time. Everybody that knew you.
yeah, probably. But it was, I enjoyed it, but eventually, like, I'm going to set these aside for a while because I've had too much Mickey
Yeah.
Dicks.
Yeah.
Like, I've just had
Yeah.
too
You can't
much.
you can't go there for every meal. You put on 60 pounds and then you're on TL.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, if we're talking about conspiracies, if we're speaking of that, the guy that did Super Size Me, right? He made it
Yeah.
look like your shit would just like you would just fail, like everything, your body shut down. Well, come to find out, he was like a hardcore alcoholic. So when they
Was
did
he really?
scans
I
of his,
never knew
yeah, when
that.
he did scans of his liver and stuff, I'm like, your liver's looking. It's because he was actively like an alcoholic at the time and was drinking like a tremendous amount while
I would
also
too if I
eating.
had to eat McDonald's for every meal of the day.
Well, somebody else did it.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and fucking back when, because they don't do the supersized meals anymore.
No, which I remember those as a kid. I love supersized
Yeah.
fries, man. That was my
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
business.
Fuck yeah. Everybody loved the
Dipping it in your ice
supersized
cream.
fries. Yeah.
Oh, I love that stuff.
I always liked Wendy's more so than I did McDonald ice no, the ice cream, the Frosties is
Yes.
dipping their fries in their Frosties was much
Yeah.
better than dipping McDonald's fries in McFlurries.
I enjoyed Wendy's. I enjoyed Wendy's. The things
I
about
miss their old
McFlurries
fries too.
is that they were basic. Like
Yeah.
McFlurries, it was like M&M or Oreo.
M&M or
That's
Oreo.
it.
That's it.
Yeah, and then
And then here in the last, 10 years, they've been trying to step out and get bougie with it and do different things. There's been a couple of them that was real bangers, but for the most part, it was just like, "It's McDonald's ice cream," you know?
Dairy Queen smacked, bro. Dairy Queen's
Oh,
always hit.
and
Always
Culver's,
hit.
Dairy Queen and
See,
Culver's.
Culver's is good. The thing that I have, I don't wanna say against Culver actually, you
Don't
know what?
you dare disrespect Culver's, that's a Midwest gemstone.
I wish they would leave their fries in just a little bit longer, like, they'd
Okay.
be a little bit more
Yeah,
crispier,
yeah.
but I always
I
just ask for
I don't
extra
get their
crispy.
fries. I am a
Cheese
slutty
curd.
little whore for cheese curds.
Yeah, see, I'm not a big fan of cheese curds.
Fuck
I
you.
can't well, and you know what? And that's your opinion. And again, you're mean to me, and I enjoy that sometimes, but
You
that's
well, see, you get mad at me for calling you an idiot, and then you say
I
some
didn't get
shit
mad.
like, "I don't like," and then you
I didn't
say
get
some
mad.
shit like, "I don't like cheese curds." Well,
I just don't like I like cheese. I just don't like cheese curds.
you just don't like it fried. Everything
I dip
e
my fries in their
everything's better
cheese.
fried.
I dip my fries in their cheese. That's my go-to.
Yeah,
Maybe I'll
I
try a
mean,
cheese curd. Maybe I'll try a
yeah,
cheese curd.
you ought to. Especially Culver's cheese curds, because I don't know what they put some kinda seasoning or something in there.
Witchcraft.
It's a little bit of witchcraft, I think,
Yeah.
you go to so there's a festival local to here every year across the state line that they literally just have a cheese shack. in there, and you can get a bucket of cheese curds for like
Oh,
$10. And I mean, they're like cheese curds are like that big around. They're not these little dinky things like you get from the restaurant. They're fat ass cheese curds, and they're so good. You can literally get like corn dog sized fried cheese on a stick,
oh my gosh.
and yeah, dude, it's so good.
Do you like hush puppies, like, from Long John Silver's? I love their hush puppies, I'm
I've
not gonna
never
lie.
been to a Long John Silver's,
Really?
but the hush puppies at Ponderosa
Okay, yeah,
and
go to
like
Long John Silver's.
Golden Corral. No,
Yeah, when you're running through here one day to pick up from SDI, come through Columbia City and get you a Long John get you just a thing of hush puppies.
I don't really trust, chain seafood in a landlocked state.
It's not but it has no fish in it, it's just batter, it's just hush puppies, that's all it is, there's no
Uh,
fish in it.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that's right, we're talking about hush puppies, ain't we?
yeah, I'm not saying,
So,
like, get a full
that's yeah,
meal,
that's the reason I've never been to a Long John Silver's
that's fine.
is but,
Well, and there's a
like,
KFC attached
like
to it.
there's a handful of sushi restaurants in town that I've not frequented, but I've been there several times, and then, well, I showed you the last time I went there a couple weeks ago, I got a fucking boat of sushi.
Yeah. A boat, that's wild. It's
It
just a
was a
whole little
it was a
Viking
little
ship
boat,
full of
yeah, full of
yeah.
sushi and sashimi.
Excuse me.
Sashimi. I figured out I'm not a huge fan of sashimi.
Yeah,
Like sushi with it's like if, the raw fish with rice and dip it in
yeah,
some soy sauce or something, a little bit of whatever the hell that pink stuff is, ginger or something.
yeah.
Um,
I love
uh
wasabi.
Yeah, little just a pinprick of wasabi on there, give it some flavor, but just the hunk of fish and the soy sauce, not for me. So I ended up bringing home like 6 or 8 pieces of sashimi and cooked them up and ate them for breakfast the next day in a frying pan. Just sauteed them up. When I tell you I had the worst fish burps for the next like 8 to 10 hours, my wife was so mad because we went grocery shopping the next day after that, or at the afternoon of me cooking all that fish for breakfast, and the half hour drive to the grocery store was miserable because it just hot fish burps was
That's
awful.
funny. That's
It was
funny.
awful.
Mm. Have you ever had wasabi peas before?
No, the only time
It's
I've
like
ever had
dried
wasabi is at the sushi restaurant.
it's dried peas, and then they put wasabi, which it's not real wasabi, but they'll put wasabi around them, and it's like a
American
crunchy
wasabi.
snack. Yeah, and it is
Yeah.
dude, a lot of people don't like them, but I love me some good wasabi peas. Can't have, like, a whole container's worth. I'll feel like
Yeah.
death, but I love me some good wasabi.
Well, good Lord frowns upon gluttony, so you gotta watch yourself anyway.
And yeah, gluttony's bad. Gluttony's up there.
That's why I try to stay away from buffets. It's not the violent diarrhea that ensues afterwards.
I haven't been to a good buffet in here. There's still, like, 1 Golden Corral left, and it's in Fort Wayne, and I haven't been in so long. There's a one at Paradise
That
something
one, Paradise Buffet up in
in
Auburn,
Auburn. Yeah, that one
that
hits.
is the superior Chinese buffet in this
Yeah,
area. It don't matter
yeah.
what time you go. It's the
Do you
food's
remember
always fresh.
Ponderosa?
Yeah,
We used to have
fuck
pies.
yeah.
We don't have Ponderosas anymore around here, so I
No,
haven't
we don't. Well, they
but
tore it down they closed it and it was vacant for like 10 fucking years before they decided to develop all that over there. And then
Ponder
there was a taco I think there was a Taco Bell. There was a Taco Bell and an AT&T store that went in its place. And then
really?
behind it here just a couple years ago came another Panda Express, Texas Roadhouse, there's a Bell Tire back there, a couple other things, but yeah. I can't believe I loved going to Ponderosa as a kid.
Yeah, it was fun.
Their shit was always delicious.
We
And
went a lot. What
I
happened to, like, the
went
good old middle class, buffets? Like, it turned into
I would imagine I don't know, the family dynamics have changed, I think.
they have.
Between that and all the government regulations and taxes and fees on businesses and shit, it just like a lot of the 'Cause we used to have when I was a kid, I can't remember the name of it, but there was like a family buffet slash just menu restaurant, but it was a family restaurant that we used to go to all the time, and it closed down because they couldn't afford it anymore. And the
That's
place was
wild.
always packed. I was buffaloed when they closed down, but they said they couldn't afford it anymore. It wasn't making as much money as
I was wombat when they closed down, like, just naming off random animals. I turned into a bison for a minute after
Yeah,
I heard they closed down.
yeah.
I was a maturing deer when they closed down.
I had just shed my antlers.
They were all velvety, and I shitted my antlers.
I scraped them all over the trees to get the velvet off. Looked like a fucking horror movie for a little while.
Dude, I can't, this is a random one for sure, but, like, deer, okay, cool, but, like, I don't I'm sure there's a reason why they run out into traffic, but so many times, dude, they just, like they'll wait, it seems like they wait for you, and then right when you're about to get
Yeah,
there, they just how many times I've just, like, had to completely shut her down,
there's gotta be something like moth to a flame to the headlights, I think,
except deer.
except
This
deers.
deer, yeah, into cars,
Deers
and
to cars.
yeah. Do you
It's like bugs to zappers, but deers to cars. Do
uh,
you think that them little plastic deer whistles work?
like the calls?
No, like you put on the front of your vehicle.
Uh, maybe.
Them
I
little
don't
black
those
plastic
little
things.
yeah. Me, maybe. I'm sure that if they did a
I always
study
thought those were bullshit. It's like dog
that
whistles. I
yeah.
I have a
Well,
hard
dog
time believing
whistles
that dog
work.
whistles work.
They do work.
Every time I've used one to any dog I've ever had, it doesn't make a bit of difference. They either
Uh,
just keep doing what they're doing or they look at me like, "Why are you doing that?"
what's it supposed to do to, like, get them from to stop?
I have no idea. None of the ones I've used have worked, so I have no idea what they do.
That's a strange
Maybe a dog trainer will watch this and let us know in the comments to see
actually,
tell
and
us we're
they'll punt
fucking
their
stupid,
yeah.
get a CVS receipt length worth of comment.
I
Actually,
I
dog
think that guy
whistles.
was trying to be helpful for clarification, which is nice, but also at the same time, like, we didn't ask for the whole we didn't ask for that. That wasn't
No.
something now people don't ask for our podcast to be out, but you also don't have to listen.
But
Like,
here we are. We're gonna keep talking some shit and we're gonna keep putting it out. And if they don't like it, they can suck my nutsack.
you're just so
So
vulgar with the things you say sometimes. It
lick my
just
butthole
say, "God, man." You could just say, "Suck it," or something, You're like, "My nuts."
from the back. The backside of my nuts. That's the sweatiest part.
I don't know, bro. You know what I do wanna talk about? Your pipes here. The pipe game. That's what I was kinda waiting for.
Yeah.
I have one here which I haven't smoked out of. It's a freshie, and I haven't even actually bought any tobacco for it yet. I used to smoke pipe when I was younger, and then I realized I think I'm too young for this still. Like, I was, like,
Nah.
18 just out here buying pipes.
Well, so the reason I got into pipes was because several years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago, me and my buddies kinda started to get into cigars. But cigar smoke is so damn harsh. Yeah, I hate the way I smell after I smoke one, and it leaves my mouth tasting terrible, and then it's in my mustache and shit, and my nose hairs, I'm smelling it all day, I just don't like it,
Yeah.
and my wife doesn't care for the smell, and they're really fucking expensive for what they are. I mean, you can spend $15 on a cigar and get 1 smoke out of it, or you can buy, like this pouch here of Piper's Pleasure cost me like $3, and I'll get, how many bowls out of that before it's empty. Now, I will say, let's see, which one of these is my most expensive one? Probably this one here, this alligator green one from Savinelli. This
Mhm.
one was right around $200.
Oh, wow.
But I got it because my wife got me this one for our wedding anniversary last year. No, not last year, the year before. Our 5-year anniversary. And I was kind of in the mood for a poker because they're just they're real lightweight if you wanted to clench it. But
Yeah.
I only get that one out for special occasions because it was an anniversary gift. But I'm kind of more into the ones that hang off your face a little bit.
Yeah. That's why I like
But
this one, it hangs.
yeah, so then I have this guy here. It's a falcon. They were invented in Fort Wayne
Oh, wow.
in 19, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody probably will. But they were made, and then they were the guy that invented the falcon pipe got a hold of a manufacturing company out of Chicago, and
Mhm.
then they worked out a deal. They started producing them. They started mass producing them in 1938, and then they were produced in Chicago up until 1968. So the sales in the States weren't the greatest. So they partnered, or they like did a merger type deal, sold part of the company to this company in England, which is where this one was made. Same thing, but you can unscrew the bowls,
Oh,
and
that's
then like
cool.
this one I bought came with this smooth acorn bowl, and you can buy all these different bowls. This one's a meerschaum bowl. It's
Okay.
meerschaum stone, but you can unscrew them, and then you have, however many, as many different bowls as you can buy for these is how many different pipes you get out of one stem.
That's
But
dope.
so they were made, like I said, they were made in the States from 1938 to 1960. I'm pretty sure it was 1968 when they ceased production in the States, and they still make them now, but every one of them that's made after that 1968 is been made in England. But
Okay.
so actually, this one here is kind of my holy grail, because if you notice, it's going to be backwards, but if it'll focus, it just says, it's not going to focus. It just says Falcon
Yeah.
on there. This one says Falcon, but it also has it stamped into it that says focus, you fucker. It also, you can't see it. It says made in England. Anyway,
Okay.
the ones without the country of origin were the ones that were made in America. And
Nice.
the reason that I've always wanted one that was made in America was I have this picture of my great great uncle smoking a falcon pipe, and the best I can date it was, pre 1950. And so I just assume that it's made in America.
Fort Wayne or
And so
Chicago or
well, they were never made in Fort Wayne. They were
oh,
always made in Chicago. They were invented in Fort Wayne and mass produced in Chicago.
oh, nice.
But yeah, so that's kind of that one there, and it's pretty much unsmokable, which sucks because the bit is pretty collapsed, and I've tried to stick a screwdriver in there and kind of clean it out a little bit, but this one's been smoked pretty heavily. And these actually aren't supposed to have removable bits, but
Okay.
this one has been smoked so heavily, and somebody has probably cannibalized this thing and replaced the bit on it. You're not supposed to be able to do that, but the whole theory behind it is that the smoke comes through this here,
Yeah.
and it's like rifling inside of it. So it sits there and it spins coming all the way through it. By the time it gets to your mouth, it's a lot cooler. And it's made of all aluminum, so it absorbs a lot more heat that way, so you get a lot cooler smoke. Cooler smoke means you don't get so much heat, you get more of the flavor profiles and whatever, and the tobacco you're
Right.
smoking, which I've smoked the one that I have the meerschaum bowl on, and it's true. I mean, this one's in a lot better shape, but it's true. You definitely get a lot more of the flavors because the smoke's a lot cooler. But yeah, and then I've got this guy here, this old corncob pipe. The bit's got a crack in it, but my dad gave it to me. It belonged to I think it belonged to my great grandpa. Maybe my great great uncle on my dad's side. I can't remember. I'd have to ask him, but I'm pretty sure it was my great grandpa's. And it's completely unsmoked. If you take it apart, the filter's still clean. It just, for whatever reason, he just had it and never smoked it. So I got this guy to take its place, and I smoke it on occasion, this little corncob guy.
Yeah.
But
That's dope.
that's kind of a fun one. Just makes you feel like a hillbilly. And the corn cob kind of absorbs a lot of heat too, like that aluminum one. So again, you get a lot cooler smoke. But since it absorbs a lot of heat, it gets like holy shit fucking hot in your hand. So you really
Okay.
got to watch how hot you're smoking it. But that one's kind of fun to smoke.
I hate to
This guy
interrupt you, but
here,
that marshmallow guy behind you can be probably pretty creepy. There's a
the
marshmallow
marshmallow.
character. Yeah, right there to your bottom down there. That could probably you just see that in the oh, I thought it was attached to something. Oh, okay.
That's a
I thought it was a
bucket.
marshmallow head. I was like, damn, bro, that's just there.
It's a McDonald's bucket.
McBoo. McBoo.
I'll turn him around. He's happy face. He's happy.
Sasuke.
He's a little he's a little happy bucket.
Yeah. Well, it looks like if there's a torso, that red thing that it's sitting on looks like it's a torso for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, there's got a marshmallow head just sitting there.
So this one here was my first ever pipe that I bought because I was just trying to get into it. This is a Lucien. It cost me like $20 and
Okay.
it is a dog shit pipe. This thing sucks so bad. Like I don't know if the drilling process to get the hole drilled
Mhm.
into the bowl or if it's in the stem or something, but it just does not. You can't puff on it. The hole's too small or it don't line up or something. It's terrible. So then, because I didn't like that one, I bought this guy, and this is a Peterson sandblasted something. I don't remember, but it's a P-lip. It's got a little hole right there in the top,
Yeah.
so it's not like a regular duck bill. The hole, it comes up out at an angle, so it goes up across the roof of your mouth and circulates it in your mouth. So you don't
Oh,
get so
nice.
much like so the smoke's not going like directly into your tongue and burning your tongue.
Yeah.
That one there is a really good smoker. I've packed many a bowl into this. This is pretty much my go-to whenever I go out to the cigar bar or whatever. And then this one here is just kind of a no name guy, another sandblasted, but I got this one off of Etsy,
Oh,
actually.
nice.
I got it because of the stem and the bit. I just like the design and the bowl. The top of the
Yeah.
bowl is I don't know what kind of wood it's made out of, but it all matches and I just like it. It's pretty cool. Kind
Yeah,
of
that is dope.
sticks off your face a little bit.
You're like the not the
Yeah.
professor, but, the guy off of, Powder Puff Girls, the dad, the guy who makes them. He has or is it oh, you know what?
Uh,
No, that's
the
wrong.
professor.
Yeah, I'm thinking of somebody else. It's off of the Kids Next Door, The Evil Dad. He has a pipe that's straight
Oh
like that.
yeah.
And that's who which I guess there's a theory that that is the Powder Puff Girls' dad or something like that. I don't know.
Oh,
Went a little
I don't
nuts.
know.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
not well versed in my children's cartoon
Well,
conspiracy
you know what?
theories,
Don't make fun of me.
but
I saw it a long time ago. So,
oh, okay.
yeah.
But yeah, so this Peterson is from Ireland. They're all handmade in Dublin.
Oh, nice.
So I bought this one. I bought this one actually from Peterson's store. So it came from. I bought it straight from Peterson. And then these Savinellis. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're where's Savinelli? That's Italian, ain't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm sure that someone's like,
Yeah.
actually, this Spain.
Yep. Nope. It's stamped right in. It says made in Italy.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's a cool
And
collection
then
you
I
got.
got all my yeah, I'm about due for another one. I got one more hole in my stand there, and then I'm gonna have to buy a bigger stand. So that means I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pipes.
Nice.
And then I got 3, 6, 9 mason jars full of tobacco. And then I got all these plastic bag pouches and this stuff here is like a kind of stuff and it's really dry because I've had it in a Ziploc bag for a long time.
Mhm.
So I bet it wouldn't be any good to smoke. But my buddy gave it to me to try. It's a flake. It's a flake tobacco that he liked, and I'm not a big fan of. I think it's an English blend. I'm not a big English guy. I'm more aromatic. I like the aromatics because the vanillas, the nuttiness, I have a couple in here that are like sweet like chocolate. I've got let me see if I can find it. This one here, Pennsylvania Dutch Treat by J.M. Boswell. That's a
Mhm.
good one. That's a really good one.
I thought about making my own chew. You can buy
Raspberry cream I
ooh,
have. There it is. Cherry Smash. It's obviously a cherry tobacco,
Yeah.
but, man, that's some good stuff. I'll tell you, J.M. Boswell is he's not old, but he's getting older. I think he's in his 70s.
That's
But,
pretty old.
well, I don't know who you're talking to. If you're talking to an 80-year-old, that's not old.
Yeah, but you're not
Um,
80. We're both in our 30s. He's 40 years on us.
true,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
But he also so he's got all these he mixes his own he makes his own batches of tobacco. Like all those are from his aromatic blends that he makes. And
Mhm.
he's also a pipe maker. He'll hand carve and sandblast and do everything, make all the stems on his own. And dude, I want one of his pipes so bad, but some of them are like $2,500.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, because they're all handmade. I mean, you're not gonna get another one just like it.
Yeah, that's
You know,
fair.
and they're all briar wood. They're all real high quality pieces. I mean, some of them are, two, three, $400, but a lot of them are well over 1,000.
We'll start off
That
small, get you a
man,
2, 300 one, and then eventually work up that way to that 2,500 mark.
yeah, yeah. And there's other ones like I've always wanted a Nordic freehand. They're
Mhm.
like these big fucking rough mountainous looking top of the bowl pieces, and they're just really fucking cool. Oh, you know what? I have another one. I'll be right back. Hang on.
Okay. So I have one. My brother got it at a place called Regal in Fort Wayne, and it's for his wedding. I guess we're gonna take wedding pictures for it. It's got a stem like this. It's normal, and the bowl looks like that. And that I think we can all agree that that kind of looks like a sack, but it's still nice.
Looks like a sack. Okay, so are you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's a little bit dusty because it's a shelf queen. I don't ever plan on smoking out of this, but it's a dragon claw. Somebody carved it.
Oh, that's cool.
Again, I got this one off of Etsy too. But yeah, my mom got that for me for Christmas last year. Or not.
Oh, that is
I
neat.
guess I guess 2 years ago. But yeah, it comes with its own little stand. It just kind of clips in there in the leather, and it lives on my.
That is cool.
But yeah, that's another one that I have. So I guess I do have 10 pipes. I always forget about this one because it lives on my dresser.
Well, if you look at this one, it does look like a sack, the way the rivets
You
are and
know,
stuff.
this is gonna sound goofy, but you know what it looks like more than a sack?
What?
Like,
A turkey sack?
when black people take their do-rags. I'm telling this is gonna I don't know how else to say this, and I hate the way I'm saying it. But when black people take those do-rags off and they got the wave in their hair,
Yeah.
that's what that looks like. And I gotta say, I'm jealous of that, dude. Several years ago on TikTok, there was the wave check. Dude,
Yeah.
I would just scroll video after video after video of the wave check because I think that is so fucking cool.
It is cool.
I wish that white people could pull that off because
You
I've always
know,
been jealous of the wave.
I don't know if I'm gonna have to edit that out because the only reason why is because I compared it to a nut sack, and then you went ahead and said it looked like waves. So I don't know what to do with that, but I'm gonna figure it out because if
Don't
I
edit it out.
do, yeah, don't great. It'll look bad on me, so that's okay. That's all right.
No, because I'm like I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the wave.
Oh
Like
yeah, same. I mean,
forever,
I'm jealous of hair. I'd
forever,
like to have. I like so.
forever will be jealous of the wave.
Not to gross people out, but, like, I'm a hairy dude except for on the top of my head. Like, I don't know if it's just I guess it's because I'm European, and so, back in the
Where'd
day,
you
it
go?
was like you're gonna, like,
There you
to
are.
protect yourself from cold. I'm sure there's some kind of something going on with that. So it's like you have more hair to keep warm, but I wish that wasn't so.
You
I mean, at
fucking
least I
need
wish
it
I had
these
it
days.
here. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's stupid cold outside.
It's ignorant cold outside. I
Yeah,
went
dude.
out today and I went out earlier today and started my semi and just let it run for like an hour
Well, in
just to make
Albuquerque
sure
was
it
gonna be
was
negative 58.
holy shit.
Yeah. Or like Ontario. I think I
In
said Ontario, yeah.
you said Albuquerque, that's New Mexico.
Oh, yeah, not Albuquerque. I meant in Canada, like up in
Alberta.
Canada. No, I think it was Ontario. I don't know. I can look it up, but it was gonna be like negative 58 or something. How
Is
no
that
matter what
is that
go ahead.
Celsius? I don't know what that
No,
equates to.
I think that's
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit, yeah, or well, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but, Nate Bargatze, he does a skit on SNL,
Yeah.
and it's him as George Washington. And he goes and he's like,
Yeah,
"Yeah," and he's
yeah.
like, "It's gonna be fair." "Why?" "We don't know. We don't we
We
don't
don't know.
know. We're just gonna do it this way." And it's like, yes.
Yeah,
I Brits don't
yeah.
Europeans don't like the way a lot of the things that we do, but it's like, I'm not a big fan of the things that you do either. So how about that?
I don't really give a shit because we don't live there, so they can
Yeah.
suck it.
We got a giant pond that's splitting us apart. Well, Canada is, I guess, European in a sense,
Yeah,
but
in a sense.
they are not in a sense. Yeah, they are, but not, but
Oh, there we go. Let's see
yeah,
here. Let me just, uh let me just tell you, we have 6% of our audience in the United Kingdom, so they can suck it.
sure. Let's lose them. Doesn't matter, I guess.
I
We need the
don't
D's,
give a
but it's
shit. We
okay.
don't need them. Fuck them.
Yeah,
Fuck them.
6%.
We don't need the UK.
Six
It's only
percent of five
6%.
people. Yeah, so we'll have one left. Whatever. It's like, yeah, that's right.
Six percent of fucking 18 people.
Yeah. We've gotten, I feel like our shorts are working out pretty well. I'm glad that it's but we get a lot of listeners out of California and Texas. Like as far as like our viewership overall, it
Liberals
was
and
out of like,
liberals and cowboys.
yeah, they're just waiting for us to slip up,
Stairs and queers.
Yeah. And
There,
there goes
there it
the
was.
32% of our audience. Yeah, there that goes. Full Metal Jacket was not brought up
I
last
wonder.
episode, but great movie.
I think it was. I think I brought it up. I wrote it down on my list of
Yeah, but I don't think
movies.
we like talked about it.
M I
I don't
C
think we had a
K
conversation.
Y M O U S E. Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mouse.
The opening scene of that, the opening scene of
What
Jarhead.
the fuck is that? A
Yeah.
jelly donut.
He wasn't even that fat either.
Very quotable. Very quotable movie.
Yeah, it was. It is a very quotable movie. In today's standards, he wasn't that fat. There's so many more hefty people out there. And he was getting
Oh
it done
yeah,
too.
yeah. No, but back then, he was the fattest motherfucker that ever lived.
Yeah. He's
But
so
these
huge.
days, there's
That's
there's
a walk
people
in the
that are
park
so
for a lot of
huge,
people.
and I just
What
no
would make you
shit.
go on
If I
TLC and
bet
be
I
like,
bet
"I'm
people
600 pounds"? What would make you go on TLC? Be like, "I'm
money,
600 pounds." Yeah, I know, but
money.
even then, it's just like, how she's dead now too. That Tammy chick, the one that was like whatever, she's dead now. She was one of the
Did
first
she
like
die?
600, but yeah, she died. Yep.
I haven't seen. I guess I haven't seen anything about that. I
Her
know
ugly
her. I
sister's
know
still
her and her
alive.
sister got. They lost like a fuck ton of weight together.
Yeah, but her sister was always
The one with the lazy eye.
she just always looked really like I felt bad for her for some reason because her sister just and her brother both had to deal with like Tammy just being a complete. I mean, look, if I was 600 and some pounds, I'd probably be a little bit upset every
I've
day too. But
I've never watched any. The only thing I've seen of the 600 pound life is the videos of the little Indian doctor making fun of him.
well, no, okay, so
That's the
Tammy,
only thing I've
that's part
seen.
of it. But
Fu
Tammy and her sister were on there, and I would watch clips, like clips would come up, and the one clip was like her in a wheelchair, and her brother was trying to push her up like a wheelchair ramp and just couldn't. And he's not a small person either. He's like a Yeah, and he's trying and he just can't. And see, I would just feel so I was like, don't take me anywhere because it's like you can't. Or not only
Yeah.
that, but then her boyfriend was this
Well, I mean, I
skinny
wouldn't put
dude.
my I wouldn't put myself in that position in the first place.
No, but I mean, when does it stop? When you like, I let myself go? It's like, yeah, you're 475 pounds. Yeah, I guess you kind of let yourself go, like, and that's the
There's
thing
a
is those
guy I
doc.
follow on social media. There's a guy I follow on social media. He started out over 500 pounds or 600 pounds or something. He's knocking it out of the park. He's lost more than I weigh. And Um, well, him and there's another guy that he just met Bert Kreischer and he's
Ugh,
doing all these podcast interviews and shit. And he's lost like 2 or 300 pounds. He's still a big boy, but
yeah,
I think he's like 6'5" or 6'6" or something, still weighs like 450 pounds, but he's also lost like 300 pounds. So
he's gonna
like
have to
he's
get
made great
surgery.
strides, but
He's gonna have to get surgery to
yeah,
get all that extra
that's
skin
on
cut
his.
off and stuff.
Yeah, and both of
What?
them, I think, are both of the guys I was talking about, I think that's on their list of things to do is to the skin reduction. I'll tell you
Bert
what though,
Kreischer, I can't stand him. I can't
with
stand
this
Bert
whole
Kreischer.
he was funny 20 years ago. 10 years ago
Yeah.
when he first made it big, 10, 15 years ago, whatever. He's way overplayed now.
It's
I don't know.
it's just too much. He's
But,
annoying, dude. Like, I stopped watching podcasts because of him. Like, I stopped watching stuff like I used to like Tom Segura a lot, and I used to like Burt Kreischer somewhat, but Burt ruined it with like just everything about him. And I'm not hating on him because the guy's wealthy and successful. Go get your money, dude. Like, that's awesome. That's super cool. But the amount of just I feel when I hear his voice or his laugh, it makes me sick. It makes me like physically like I'm ill now and I don't wanna be here anymore.
yeah.
But, to each their own, a lot of people like him. He was in Fort Wayne a couple of years ago, and I almost saw him. I went and saw Ron White, and I wanna go see, like, Theo Von and stuff if they ever come back up. I don't know if Theo Von's ever been to Fort Wayne, but
Theo was here. He has. He was just here in the last year or something. He was here last year. I remember that because
I'd
there
love to
was a
watch
bit of a
him,
kerfuffle in my friend group. But, no, yeah, he was here last April.
dude. I, uh I had a
Please
friend
don't
I'll
fall.
just say
Please
this.
don't
I had
fall.
a friend, let's just call him Kendall, I guess. And Kendall is a very
Kendall.
nice yeah, it's not his it's a whatever name, but he
I
is
used to know a Kendall. She was a lesbian.
I knew a Kendall who was a woman too, never met a guy named Kendall, but let's just call him Kendall. He was a very nice guy, like, very nice guy. Almost too nice, and this girl just took advantage of it, and the first time they came over to my house, I told him, bro, I was like, "This girl's a hoe. Like, you better leave because this girl's a hoe." 6 months later, he proposes to her, which is wild. Um, he asked me to go to his wedding, and I said, "No," because I don't support this. So fast forward 9 months after they get married, and we haven't spoken after I told him no. And it's
Well, yeah,
a
fuck you.
rainy night, and it's like 9:30 at night, and he knocks on the door and opened the door, and I said, "Hey, Kendall, what's up?" And he goes, "Can I come in and talk to you?" And he's very upset. You can just tell. And I said, "What's going on, dude?" And he goes, "She's been cheating on with me like 4 different guys since before we got married." And I was like, "Yeah, I
Told you so.
told you."
Told you so.
Yeah.
Told you so.
And
Told
we
you so.
aren't friends still after that. Like it never recovered from that, I guess. But it's just like, dude, people told you. I wasn't the only one that was like, bro, I think she was just completely different than him. And you could just feel it on her, dude. Just hoe home
Yeah.
mentality all the way. And he was just a nice guy, and that's the issues with
You
he
know
just
what?
never stood up for himself. And so
You know what I've been thinking about?
what?
You ever start thinking about people from your past and then you kind of wonder like, I wonder if they also think about me sometimes.
No, not really. I mean, sometimes, but not for a while, dude. It's like, it's not once you're gone, but like I feel, especially if it was something like that, I don't think they ever, if they do, I feel like it probably isn't anything nice. So maybe it is. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder about it, but it's been a long time since I've really thought of anybody in my past, like really gave it a go. Like today's
Oh,
been more of a walk down memory road than anything.
yeah, I do. I do all the time. Not just reminiscing on the good times that we had before everything fell apart or like just yeah, rolling down memory road or like something will come on the radio that was like, "Ah, man, we used to listen to this song all the time." Or somebody will say something or you'll smell something or
Yeah.
just whatever and it just sparks a memory. It's like, I wonder if they think about that too.
Well, smell is a big one.
Yeah.
Like when you smell stuff, that really brings back like I've smelled like a candle or something and it's taken me right back to where I was when I first smelled that. Or like the first time I ever smelled somebody spraying Febreze or Glade over weed smoke and like took a whiff of it and I was like,
Yeah.
this is my aunt's house. I know what the smell is now. Like I know what, you know what I'm saying? Like I know what this like weird smell was when I was a kid. Like this, it just takes me back there.
I have one smell that I sweet pea body butter
Okay.
cannot cannot because it takes me back to being 13 and just having at myself with it.
I knew. I knew I was gonna go there. I knew. I knew. I knew. I was like, maybe he's gonna
If
bring up
I
some
if
chick he used to
I
date or
if
something.
I if I smell if I smell that smell, I have to close it and fuck it off because it's like, oh god, it's just it makes my skin crawl is what it does. It's not even like a fond thing. It's like I hate that. I can't do it.
Yeah, that's,
And then, oh god, just
are you gonna cry?
thinking of it. Because
Okay,
no, my
sorry.
fucking eyeballs are full of boogers.
I shouldn't
You know,
laugh
eye
at that if you were
boogers.
gonna cry, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I called you an idiot the other day.
Yeah. I know. I will think of that forever, actually. I will remember that throughout our friendship, so it's okay.
Yeah, so, like, 10 years from now, if we're not friends anymore, you're gonna think back to that just like what we was just talking about. I wonder if he's still thinking about me. That motherfucker called me an idiot.
Yeah. Well, I hope we are friends in 10 years and this podcast is still thriving. That would be nice if we're not at some dispute over
Yeah.
that'd be great, but
Yeah. We'll have
no.
fucking 2,500 episodes like Joe Rogan
Ah,
coming f
man, yeah, bro. I mean, I fell in love with that show for the longest time, and then when he started really bashing on Christianity over and over and over again, it's not that I can take it's not that I can't take other people's opinions or when it's not exactly what I think about something. It was just over and over again, and it was so obscene, and it's like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna take a step
he's
back away from
kinda
this." He's going to church now.
he's I was just gonna say that he's come around. I don't know what his actual thoughts on all of it are, but he's a lot more. I think getting out of California did him a lot of good. Moving to Texas really opened his eyes to a lot of different things because he's had like religious scholars on
Wes Huff.
and
Wes
have
Huff was
really
my
opened
favorite.
his eyes to yeah. And then just different people coming on. And it's not even just like religious scholars, it's just people like fellow comedians. It's like, have you ever thought about blah blah blah? And then they get into this religious conversation. And, he's come a long way in the last few years, especially like during COVID and everything that was happening and all the conspiracy
Yeah.
theories that was going on. A lot of it was religion based. And so, he's not quite as kooky as he used to be.
No, I don't think he is either,
I'm
but
playing.
he okay. So he had Wes Huff on, which Wes Huff is like 33 and he's a young guy, but he's like a
Mhm.
biblical scholar and like I think ancient like documents or I can't remember what the for thing, but he's they his channel or what he's over, he's the director of like Canadian biblical something and he had him on and talked to him at length about this and here's what gets me with, like, atheists and stuff like that, or people that just don't believe. It's just like, so doesn't it amaze you in some sense that you would call this man just a
I was wondering how long it would take you to look at the camera. It's a little squishy guy.
but,
It's a little squishy guy. He's a little orange.
these little
He's
it's
the
so
happy little
cute.
orange with a big toddler bite took out of it.
Yeah. Ah. Does he taste like it too? Just had to find out.
Yeah, I don't
Um,
know. One of them
no,
ate his ass a little bit.
okay, that's okay. What I was saying was is like if it's for them, if it's not for the same as me, as like a he's like he is my savior. You're talking about just a carpenter who that people said was
Yeah.
just a rabbi. But and you're still talking about it. I wonder why you think that is. But I was listening to this guy and there was a book. I can't remember what it was dated, but it was like 80 years after the crucifixion and there's this book. It's not religious. It was a Jewish historian and it writes about he said, "There's this man, Jesus Christ, if you can even call him that, like just a man." And it talked about him in like a paragraph. And it's like there's Genghis Khan, there's only 10 things that talk about him really. Alexander the Great,
Yeah.
there's only like 25 things that talk about him. But Christ, there's thousands of things that talk about him. That isn't just the Bible. And it's like, how much proof do people need to have? And I get that things have happened terribly in people's lives. Hey, guess what? Terrible things have happened in my life too. Like I don't know. I don't know. I guess just because of the viewpoints I have, it's not that I get defensive about it. It's just I guess I don't understand how people can see it. But that's not for me to I try not to judge people on that. It's like, who am I? Maybe they'll find them, maybe they won't. I have a lot of questions too, but I just go to the Bible. And even then, sometimes you just come up with more questions. Like it's not always like, Eureka, I found it.
Right.
Sometimes you read it and you're like, what does that even mean? Speaking of like the giants, like
Right.
I wish I would have
'Cause half of the
yeah.
like, if you're reading older Bibles or whatever, like, old literature, it's all in Old English, and I don't read too good in the first place, so I have a hard time even understanding what all that is. So it's nice to have smarter people than me that can read that and understand it and broadcast it in a way that dummies like me can understand.
So you want to get into some, I know I talked this about this before, but let me type it in real quick because it's gonna be the tail end. Or we should have done this in like the beginning, but oh my gosh, here, let me just
Yeah,
type it
because it
in
got
here.
it got pretty slow there for a minute.
Yeah, I did. Well, that was my bad. I'm sorry.
We're gonna we're gonna have to go an extra half an hour just to edit out all the dumb shit.
I That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like we're gonna have to let me just go get my Bible real quick. So if we go to Genesis, this is where people talk about giants. And there's also far more conspiracy than this. But if you go to chapter 6 of Genesis, it says, "Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God," that's important, "the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and that they were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves of all whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be numbered 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterwards, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. Those were the mighty men who were of old, men of renown." So the Nephilim, which is
Mhm.
that's the Lord saw the wickedness of man and the great on the earth, and they were very, and that very intent of their thoughts of his heart was only evil continuously. So now when you get into this, there's two parts to this. So the sons of God, right? When you get into the sons of God, that's said more than once, and it's said a lot in Job. Not a lot, but it's brought up again in the book of Job, which I don't know if you've ever heard the book of Job before. I'm not saying that because I don't think you aren't read in biblically 683, but it talks about the beginning. It talks about the sons of God as well. Let me see. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan also among among them. And the Lord said to Satan, From where do you come? So Satan answered and the Lord and said, From going to and fro on the earth, and from walking back and forth on it. So the sons of God are brought up twice. So twofold. The sons of God, they believe that the ones they're talking about in Genesis 6, a lot of people believe that those are fallen angels. That the angels that came down, one third of the angel population was Satan, because it says in Revelation that Satan fell to the earth. When that battle in heaven happened, he fell to the earth. He didn't go to hell. He came here. That's why they call him the Prince of the Air. Now, the men of renown and old, and the more I think about it, we hear. But what I was saying is the sons of God were the one third of the angel population that a lot of people believe that fell with Satan. Now, when it talks, the sons of God saw the daughters of men and thought they were beautiful. And so they believe that those angels fell with Satan and then started to like mingle around and see what's up. So a lot of people think that those men of old and of renowned, I think that's where like Hercules and all these demigods came from, was that. I think that's what the men of
Yeah.
renown and men of old, but Nephilim, these giants as well, that's where that came in. So God saw this, and not only were they laying with man, like not with man, well, with men and women, but they were laying with animals too. So God's like, this is all wicked. This is not what I created.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm going to flood the earth. I have to end this now. It says in here that so the wickedness of man was great on earth, and every intent of thought were evil. And the Lord was sorry that he made the man of earth and was grieved in his heart. So the Lord said, I will destroy man in whom I have created the face of the earth for man and beast, creeping things and birds. But it talks about also that they were here afterwards as well. Right here, there were giants on the earth in those days and also afterwards. So it means that even after Noah's time, there were still giants here. And they think it's because of Noah's sons' wives,
Yeah.
because that was kind of rushed. And so that they had that bloodline still. And that's what's created this. Think about it, because they have found barnacle on top of like mountains, like Everest and stuff. They found so many things that
Yeah.
prove that this earth was
Clams.
flooded. Yeah, dude. And so
Devil's Tower and all the Devil's Tower and a lot of the plateau mountains are actually like tree stumps or giant tree stumps. And that kind of proves scientists like to tell people that it's all magma, but when have you seen magma harden in hexagonal tubes going,
Yeah.
the entirety of the tree stumps?
Yeah.
And if that's true, in the Bible there it says that, God sends his angels down to cut the trees off to make it so that the giants can't climb them and escape the floods.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think the tree isn't just laid over right next to them tree stumps? Because
Right.
the earth was flooded.
Yeah.
It carried the trees away. And then, when you have these gigantic trees, I mean, these things were several hundred feet tall. You start seeing all these fossils of these gigantic cockroaches and beetles and just everything was bigger because and reptiles, that was the other one. Reptiles, they're getting fossils of these gigantic lizards
Yeah.
that when you have these gigantic trees making all like just an abundance of oxygen, it's been proven that if you have just a regular lizard in a terrarium and you just pump pure oxygen into that thing, that lizard will just continue to grow and grow and grow and grow until it runs out of that oxygen space. And then as soon as you cut that off and put it back to regular what we have, it
Mhm.
dies because its body can't keep up, or it can't get enough oxygen to feed its body.
Yeah.
So it kind of just proves it even more that those were actually big trees
Yeah.
because everything else is just huge,
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
like you said, they're finding clams and oysters with their shells still closed at the tops of mountains, and they
Yep.
find whales, like aquatic skeletons
Yep.
in landlocked countries just in the ground. How do you think they got there? Because the earth was flooded.
Science will prove my God is real every day. Even Einstein was like,
Right.
the more I look into science, the more I get involved in science, the more I believe in God. Like, as much as you want to, they think that they found the rock where when the Jews were walking through the desert and they needed water that was struck and that water came out of it. They think they found that. There's so many things that they have found. They thought David was just like a myth or a biblical tale until they found stuff that talked about the kingdom of David.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the older I've gotten and the more I regret that when I was younger, I didn't pay attention. But it's like, you can't deny my God. Like, in my heart of hearts, it's like, I know not only is God real, but that Christ was real. He was crucified. He rose on the third day. He did ascend. We're here for this. And it's like, there's so many things that even if you're not looking at the Bible, that can tell you these things. And it's like, how much
Mhm.
proof does one person need? There's been plenty. The guy that wrote the case for Christ and the case for Christmas, Lee Strobel, he was a atheist journalist who had his wife went to church. He goes, you know what? I'm going to prove this wrong. And then found out that he was wrong. And it totally changed his life.
I think I know that story because he
Yeah.
he went on this, like, deep, deep search to try to disprove it and couldn't.
Yeah. He went on the
I
Sean
think
Ryan
I think
show
I
and
I
talked
think
about
I
it.
watched the interview. Oh, well, maybe we're talking about 2 different people, but I watched a video of this guy. He was a lawyer, had several degrees, had a PhD in law, and, same thing. His wife was a devout Christian. He grew up atheist, was an atheist his whole life. Said, "I'm smart. I can disprove this in a week." And then he went down this rabbit hole of scripture and biblical scrolls that he found, different historical books and everything, for like a year and a half, just nonstop Bible study. And then he came out of that a devout Christian because he couldn't disprove it.
No, you can't. You should listen to doctors talk about like his crucifixion and him being beat and like how bad it really was. Like if you watch The Passion of the Christ ever and you're
Yeah.
like, my gosh, that's not even close. That's not even close. He was beaten
Yeah.
where he had flesh hanging off of him. Like you could see exposed bones.
His ribs were
Yeah.
exposed,
Yeah,
organs
dude.
hanging out. Yeah, it was
And
nasty.
it was not good, and we
And then
out of being, like,
no, go
polite,
ahead.
like, towards Christ, we show him covered in a cloth. That was not so. He was naked. He was stripped naked, he was put on that
Yeah.
cross, and then the people around him were casting lots. They were casting lots for his stuff, and they mocked him, bro, like, "Get yourself off of that cross." and it's just like you have no
Yeah.
idea. I don't know, man. It's heavy to talk about. It really gets you like it gets me emotional because it's like he didn't know me. And not only that, but when these people were doing these things to him, he asked for their forgiveness. He did nothing wrong. He did
Yeah,
nothing
exactly.
wrong. And he was
Right.
still tortured and crucified and died for because people didn't like what he was doing. People didn't like that he was telling the truth. People didn't like that he was fulfilling these words that had been said thousands of years before. It's just difficult, man. But there's yeah, we could have this conversation for hours and I could just go on and on and on. I'm thankful that I know him. I'm thankful that I have this word and that I can read. And I'm thankful that I live in a place where it's not like Nigeria, man, where people are getting their heads cut off every day and thousands upon thousands of people have been murdered
Yeah.
because they believe in this,
Well,
like
if the jihadists had their way, we'd be dealing with that too, so
yeah, well, you know what? It's different here for now. And I think that it would still be here. I think
yeah.
it'd still be very different even if they tried. Like, good luck, man. Good luck. This isn't
Yeah,
Afghanistan. This is different.
right.
Like, it's
Yeah,
not, it's not
we got a whole lot of guns here, and most of the people that own them are trained with them.
yeah, I'm not
Good
completely
luck.
naive. Yeah, good luck. And it's just different, man. Like what's happening in Minnesota, Minnesota right now is wild. It is strange. I don't understand why some of this like these people are just being so hateful and they're protecting like pedophiles and protecting,
Yeah.
or what are you saying, PDF files. You can't say the
Well,
actual
just
thing.
bad.
Bad people.
Yeah, PDF files. Nah,
Mm,
you can call them these fucking pedophiles. That's what they are. Give a shit.
they are, dude. Then it's
People that harm
wild.
children are the lowest scum on the earth, and every one of them deserves to go into the wood chipper feet first.
Yeah. Well, you see, Florida is a
Give
state
a damn.
where they castrate them. If you're found guilty of child molestation, they
I
castrate you. They
saw that.
chemically
Yeah, they just
castrate
did
you.
that.
Yeah. It's like
Mhm.
good, good. Make it so that they
I
can
think they ought to
never,
do it physically too.
yeah. Cause I can't believe,
Shouldn't
like,
be chemical, should be physical with a fucking pair of needle nose pliers and a box cutter is what they ought to get.
I can't, but I don't know. And here's the thing it's going to get worse before it gets better in Minnesota. That's for sure. In Minneapolis, like something else is going to happen.
Oh,
They're
for
already sending
sure,
troops there.
and that yeah,
I
it's
don't know,
just
man.
it's mind-boggling on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's hard to defend some of the things that the government's doing, but also they're just trying to do a job, and it's terrible to say because people said the same thing about the Nazis and everything. We're just following orders. They're just there to do a job, but they're also the intention behind it, I think, is good. But how they're executing it is, I don't know. They could probably do. I don't know what the solution is because I'm just a truck driver, but I feel like they could be doing it better
Well, did you
because
see
they're not
where go
only.
ahead.
I mean, they're fucking up too. They're doing a lot of good. They're getting criminals off the street. They're sending them back to where they come from, but they're also I mean, they've shot 2 people, American citizens, that you could argue I mean, you can't argue that they deserved it. They're both horrible tragedies, but, they're doing stuff like that. They're arresting citizens that, they're doing these raids. They're doing these raids, and they're getting the criminals, but they're also getting people that are just there, that they think are criminals too. It's like, you can't when you go into these places, you can't go in just balls to the wall. Like local sheriff's departments have to have a warrant before they can wire especially ICE agents wearing masks. That's dangerous to me. I don't like that at all. Like whenever you get arrested, you're allowed to ask for the officer's name and badge number. And regard if you're just getting pulled over on the side of the road, you're allowed to ask for either your name and their badge number, and they'll give it to you happily most of the time. But these guys with their masks and they don't have a badge that they show. It's dangerous. I mean, you or I could pretend to be an ICE agent and just go start arresting people, just putting them in zip ties and setting them on the side of the road. Or you pretending to arrest somebody, put them in the back of your car, and then go beat them with a club.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure that's happening. You can't say that it's not. I mean, the chances are slim, but it ain't zero. You know, I'm certain that there's got to be there's got to be somebody. I mean, it's a Criminal Minds episode. You know, somebody's got to be using that as a front to arrest people and take them out back and beat them with a club. And and there's no accountability for the wrongdoing either because they're faceless. They don't have an identity. They're behind a mask. They don't show you their badge. It's dangerous, you know. Like I said, but at the same time, the intention behind it I feel is good because they're going in and they're taking out. I mean, how many thousands of criminals have they got off the street? That they're making things better, but then you have all the people that have joined literally just to arrest like, you know what I mean? That are just going after illegals that are just gung ho, guns blazing, just to try to get something, get some action, and then you get shit like that guy that was basically executed in the street. You know, the man having his or the man armed with a handgun. Well, they took his gun away from him and then shot him in the face, you know? And it's a tragedy is what it is. It's inexcusable. I don't know all the circumstances and I don't know cuz I wasn't there obviously, and I'm not an officer of the law, so I don't know what could have been done better, but the guy didn't deserve to die, you know? Like they had him subdued. He didn't shoot anybody. He came at him with a gun, but they had him subdued. They took his gun from him and then shot him and killed him. Like, what argument do you have that he should have died right there? You know?
Well, okay. So how do I say this? As far as like in Minneapolis, I'm gonna have it's a two-parter here. JD Vance went there and had took a bunch of questions and answered them fairly well. I don't know if you've seen that.
Mhm.
And they're like, "What about this? What about that?" And he goes, "Well, the mayor is telling the local police department and sheriff's department not to help us. So we don't know where these criminals are exactly. We just know where they've been. So we go to these places
Yeah.
and just to see." And you're right. I don't know much about that guy. I haven't read much about it, but what I do know is that he was armed. If he did pull a pistol on him, well, here's the thing.
He was.
Somebody from the Minnesota government said that you should come armed, basically, and you should defend yourself if it's a masked man is around you, and you have and it's like, okay, so
Yeah.
now we're starting a civil conflict between the state and the federal government. Who do you think's going to win that? Like realistically, and not only that,
Yeah.
but if insurrection is
Rand
brought up,
Rand Paul, right? Yeah.
yeah,
Yep. No, go ahead. I was gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
if the insurrection act happens and these people are held like arrested, these government officials, if the military's brought in, which I'm sure it has been by now, dude, you're causing look, okay, I got a question. If that here's my thing. If those people weren't in the streets, which I'm for protesting, protest what you're gonna protest about. I have no problem with that. Protesting's an American, it's a right, civil right. You can protest. But if you wouldn't have came to this protest armed and gotten the faces of ICE
Yep.
agents, would you still be alive? If that Rachel Good or whatever her name is, that Miss Good, if she would have just
Mhm.
stopped and just not blocked the road or whatever, or not potentially struck one of those federal agents, would she have been shot?
Yep.
Probably not. So, like, yes, is it a tragedy that 2 Americans died? Yes. But you and I both know that if that was in our town, it's not because I'm not willing to stand up for what I believe in, but I believe, like you said, what ICE is doing is fundamentally good. But what is happening because of all these
Mhm.
things is there's tragedies that are caused. And it's like, so what how do we do this? So do we
Yeah.
have to get these illegal immigrants out of here. We have to do all these things. And yet these American citizens are not only resisting in a way, but now it's like armed resistance. And it's like,
Yeah.
how do you handle that in a peaceful manner?
Right. And Rand Paul went on Joe Rogan the other day, and he had a bit on that where he said, in a perfect world, ICE wouldn't exist because the local government would take care of it. Because the local government is basically giving the finger to the White House, ICE has to step in and do their jobs. And I get what you're saying about you come in, like JD Vance said, you come in blind because the local government, local police aren't helping. And then you have everybody that is, like you said, an armed resistance. But the armed resistance doesn't really make any sense to me because who are you? You're literally protecting criminals, and like half of them, or no, I shouldn't say half of them, because I'm certain the majority of the people that are here for the right reasons. They just chose to do it the wrong way, But a lot of them are criminals. They're violent criminals that escaped, or actually, what country was it in Central America? Was it Mexico?
It was
Or
Venezuela,
that
where they
basically
just
dumped
opened
their
up their
prisons and
prisons
sent
and
all
their
their
insane asylums.
Venezuela?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, and they opened them up and just dumped them all here. Like, why are you defending those people? If they were in prison in another country, they shouldn't be out on the streets here, But, like, going to those protests armed, and I would personally, I would go armed just for my personal safety,
Yeah, but I
but I'm
would
not
not
gonna
point it
pull a
at a
gun
Fed
out on a
yeah,
police officer. That's just
yeah,
retarded.
yeah.
Exactly. Or yeah, like you said, a federal officer, that's just retarded. You're gonna get shot and killed,
Well, especially in such a
or
tense situation, bro.
try to run, yeah. Yeah, or try to run one over with a car, especially that guy, because he had just been dragged in a by a car in a confrontation not shortly before that, so he was already on edge, and so, like, there's 2 sides to every coin. Should those people have done what they done and caused that? No, but also it's a tragedy that not even just an American citizen, but a human life was lost,
Yeah,
because it doesn't really matter what your thoughts on, side to side, right? It's,
yeah.
those people had families. There's gonna be people that miss them when, because now they have to plan a funeral they weren't ready to plan for. That Miss Good, she had a kid, and they're gonna be wondering why mom's not coming home. It's just a tragedy all the way around.
Well, it just goes to show you that this
And
is not a movie.
it's not just, yeah, well, and again, there's 2 sides to that too, because now that officer, that ICE agent that shot her and killed her, he's gotta live with that for the rest of his life. He's
Mhm.
gonna be that's not something that you just brush off. That's something that he's gonna see in his sleep. Every time he closes his eyes, he's gonna see her face. Nah, I'm not gonna say that. But, it's awful.
It is.
There's no real, and I don't wanna take sides, especially trying to put this on a public platform. So I'll just say that I don't know what I wanna say. Just that just that I hope everybody, this is gonna sound stupid, but I hope everybody just figures it out, gets along, we can get through this somewhat peacefully.
Yeah.
Obviously there's gonna be some conflict. People are gonna get wrongly arrested and accused, and people are gonna get injured because it's a tense situation. But, like, I all they're trying to do is get rid of criminals, and it just boggles my mind that people are trying to defend the rights of people that shouldn't even be here.
Well, Don Lemon went, like, walking the streets, and he
Same
goes,
thing.
"Good."
No, I was just gonna say, like, somebody I saw on social media earlier brought up Kyle Rittenhouse. Same thing there. That boy should not have been in the situation he was in. He should have stayed his ass at home. But also, when you try to swing a skateboard at somebody's face, you're liable to get shot,
Yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
there's 2 sides to that. He definitely should not have been there at all. 100% should have stayed his ass at home. But also, don't swing a skateboard at a kid's head and he probably won't shoot at you. You know what I mean? But then again, the guy that he'd killed was a convicted child predator,
Who was
had
armed.
raped a couple of kids and was just walking the street. Who yeah, and so, like, is there a loss there? Yeah, it's a human life and it's sad, but also, again, we go back to pedophiles, PDF files, whatever the fuck the internet wants you to call them, the lowest form of just pure evil whale shit on the planet Earth. There's no lower form of scum than somebody that would harm a child. So, to me, there's no real loss there. Are you there?
That sucked.
Oh,
Hopefully, it connects it together.
what the
I pray
shit?
to God it, like, said it had to
Oh, there we
reconnect.
go.
Yeah, it said it had to reconnect, so
There
hopefully
was
it
There was 2 of you. I was going skiing there for a second, and then now there's just 1 of you.
but no, I agree. I think that Don Lemon went on the street and was talking to this lady. She was I don't know if it was in Texas or where, and he goes, they're not criminals. They didn't do anything wrong. And she goes, they're illegal immigrants. She goes, yeah, it's a misdemeanor. They're not criminals. She goes, that's a
That's a
crime.
crime.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she goes, "This is a cancer that we have to nip. We have to get that's a growing thing." And it's like we have to like you said, people would get along. I think we just need to unite as a nation. There's so much division right
Yeah.
now and just in that state. But here's the
And
thing.
the majority of it is coming from the mainstream media.
Well, the majority of it also is coming from the local leaders, the governor,
Yeah.
the mayor,
Well,
the
and
this
it's all
person.
and I don't think I mean, every time like, who isn't in support of getting criminals off the street? I think in my bones that every time ICE takes an actual convicted criminal off the street, Democrats are secretly okay with it. But and again, Rand Paul had a good bit on it. He's like, it's not a humanitarian effort, it's buying votes. Like, during the in the Biden presidency, they had that CBP1 app or whatever, CP whatever it was, that basically they would just let a couple million illegals across the border and give them voting rights in
Yep.
these sanctuary cities. That's all it was. It wasn't a humanitarian effort. They were buying votes so that they could stay in power. And now we're dealing with the aftermath,
Yep. Yep.
you
But
know.
you know, and that's not a new thing because I know I've talked to you about it before, but the show called The West Wing that started in like 1998 talks about that in an episode from like 1990 to 2000, where somebody was trying to get illegal immigrants the right to vote so that they could vote for stuff. And it's just like,
Yeah.
when are we going to learn? But
History always repeats itself.
I'm gonna
Hopefully some things stay in the textbooks, but
I'm going to say this that I think that you're right that things are tragic and there are tragedies, and that we should be able to unite and not have all this riffraff that are causing such things. But if you're going there and you're protesting, you're assaulting officers, you're impeding investigations or their raids, you're standing in front of their vehicles, they're blocking their stuff. What do you think's going to happen? Like, tell me, what do you think the best outcome is that they let you get away with it? Or the worst outcome is that you're gonna get arrested,
you're gonna get
or
shot.
or you're gonna get shot. Like,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, it's either one or two. It's either you're gonna get arrested, or if you push somebody or you have a weapon or
Well,
something, what do
yeah,
you
and
do?
I don't know, because 'cause I'm not well versed in it, but I think, unless you're putting somebody in immediate danger like that, like, what's her name that tried to run that guy over, or, if you come armed to a protest and wave a gun in a federal agent's face, but if you're just there protesting, yelling obscenities, you're probably gonna get arrested, maybe just pepper sprayed, but if you're doing outlandish shit like that, the chances of you getting maimed or killed is skyrockets.
I'm gonna ask you a question. If you were a federal agent, you had only 4 other people around you, and there's a crowd of 30, 40 people. They're pushing at you, they're shoving at you, they're trying to get at you. And you see one guy, and I'm not using the guy who just got shot as an example. I don't know that very well. I'm just saying in general. But you see somebody that's armed and pulling that, what are you supposed to do? Because it's like he could shoot not only you or your friends, but he could shoot one of the protesters
Yeah.
because there's so plenty of people around. So, and again, I'm not using that guy that just was shot as an example. I'm just using a totally different hypothetical
Yeah.
situation there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
how are you
I don't
supposed to?
know.
Because if you pepper spray him and he covers his eyes and just starts shooting,
Right.
you tase him, he clenches up
Same.
with his finger on the trigger. Like, how do you?
Well, that and like you said, if he's surrounded by people, there's 30 other people there. Who's to say that one of them doesn't also pull out a gun? Or if you and your buddies all pull your guns and point them at him, now you have 30 people that could gang up on you. It's just, I don't know what the solution is. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
hard, dude. I
It's
don't
just
know
it's
either.
just a it's just a hard situation. And to me, if that was if you're gonna if I'm standing there just pushing people back, keeping a perimeter, doing whatever, and you pull a gun on me, it's me versus you, right? And it's just, me carrying a gun to protect my family. If it's me and my wife and kids versus you, you're going down every time. I'm not even
Yeah,
gonna question it. I'll go to prison, but at least I know my family's safe.
yeah,
And I feel like, and also, if like in that situation where you got 20 people all mad as fuck and you got one guy that pulls a gun, you start cracking rounds off. What's that gonna do to the crowd?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, loud noise, all of a sudden there's bullets, everybody gets scared. People are gonna scatter
It's
like
wild.
ants, you know? And so, I don't know. Like I said, if you're gonna pull a gun on me, it's me versus you.
Yeah.
The same thing with a street fight, you know? I'm kicking you straight in your testicles.
Yeah.
If you're gonna come at me, you're getting kicked in the balls. I don't care. It's me versus you. Because even if you I just watched a video earlier today. A cop was walking up on a guy. He was just standing at a park bench and there was something that had happened. And the only thing he asked the guy was like, "Hey, did you call us? Like,
Mm.
am I in the right spot?" The guy just went ballistic and stabbed him straight in his neck. Came up to him and just hollered a bunch of shit and started stabbing at him and stuck him in the neck, and the body cam footage shows, like, spurting blood, got him in his carotid artery and killed him. So it's like, there's people out there that just don't give a single shit about their life or the life of anybody around them, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
And so it's just I don't know.
It's a toss up, bro.
It's crazy. The world well, not just the I mean, the world is kind of on fire, but also, like, shit here too is just crazy because it's not just Minneapolis. You know this is
No.
happening everywhere. It's just Minneapolis is the hot point right now.
Well, I don't think it's happening as bad in Minneapolis because and here's the thing, it's happening ICE is in other counties and stuff and towns in Minnesota where this isn't happening,
Yeah.
where the local government is helping them. Like, somebody on Facebook posted in, like, Fort Wayne, "Hey, ICE is gonna be here on Thursday." It's like, you could be impeding on a federal investigation. They could come find you and be like,
Yeah.
"You told people where we were. Why would
Yeah.
you" know what I'm saying? So it's like, but should the civilians know this stuff? I mean, yeah, we should know what's going on. If you see a bunch of black SUVs roll up and you see a bunch of here's the thing about the masks. The reason why that I feel like, and this was talked about too, a lot of the masks is because these people are doxing these federal agents and getting their addresses and getting like where their family lives. And so it's like, I'm here to like, if we're looking at it on a very simplistic way, I'm here, if I was an ICE agent, I'm here to get illegal immigrants off the street, whether they're criminals or just here illegally causing, fraud, whatever. I'm getting these
Mhm.
people. Why are you trying to find me, like, and my family? Like,
Yeah.
as an American, what are you doing? And it's like, well, now we can investigate you for doing this. And it's just like this drum roll. It's like, if everybody could
Yeah.
let everybody be, would it be this bad? Would those 2
I
people be
don't
in, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of that. It's a lot of I don't, and
Yeah.
I that's things I don't know either, but we're seeing it in real time. How many people have to be shot before something different happens, whether it's on the government side or
Yeah.
these protesters?
Because so here's the thing. I am on the side of just roll over and let it happen because it's not against American citizens.
Yeah,
If it was against American citizens, I would say light their shit up,
yeah,
you know? I mean, obviously, if they were going after like, if there was a prison break and they're going after these criminals, then sure. I mean, it would be the
yeah,
same thing. Just let them take them. Let them take
yeah,
them. They don't need to be on the street. But if it's martial law and they're locking cities down, light them up. Fuck them up,
yeah.
you know? Because then it would be against the American people, but it's not,
It's
they're
not
going
against
after
us.
they're
Yeah,
no, it's not against us. It's a war inside of our own country to get the people that don't belong here out.
yeah. Agreed. Agreed. All right. Well,
Because there's the argument that it's like there's on the left, it's especially it's boy the don't tread on me crowd is pretty quiet right now. And it's the same thing like what I just said. Like, yes, don't tread on me, don't tread on you,
yeah,
but tread all over the fuck, of the people that don't need to be here.
yeah. Tread the shit out of them. Tread all over
Tread
them.
tread all over those people.
Yeah,
And so I keep going back to Rand Paul, but it's fresh in my mind because I just listened to that episode the other day. He said, like, if you're here to work and you're being productive and you're not causing problems, maybe he said, like, if you're first generation, we don't you can stay, you can work. We'll give you your I don't know what they call it, your special your foreign ID number or whatever for the
yeah,
IRS. So you can still pay taxes, you can do all this, but you don't get citizenship, you don't get um welfare, you don't get any of that. You cannot be a citizen, but your kids will be. Like if
yeah.
you're here, you're doing like you still committed a crime to be here. we'll give you your ID number in that so you can work, and as long as you don't cause any problems, you can be here. Like you said, you can't be a citizen, but your kids can be. And,
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that personally because you're not giving them any special you're not giving them voting privileges, you're not giving them taxpayer funded programs. If you're going to be here and you're going to work, you're going to work and provide for yourself, or you can go back to where you came from.
I agree.
And I kinda halfway agree with that, but then there's the side of me that's like, they wanna be here, they're trying their damnedest to make something of themselves, give their kids a better life, give them a path to citizenship, especially now, I don't wanna be one of those, like, buying votes kind of a thing,
Yeah.
but if you were to be in a position of, "Hey, we need some votes," I mean, that'd be a surefire way to get some.
Yeah.
You
It
know,
would,
if you're
but
if
for
you're
what
the part
side?
if well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Rand Paul's a Republican. So if you're proposing, path to citizenship for non-problematic illegals, if they're just here, they're working, they're grinding it out, they're trying to make something of themselves to give their kids a better life, what have you. Give them a path to citizenship. Let them stay and be a part of the society. Because the thing that sucks too is you're not a citizen, right? You don't
Yeah.
get voting privileges. You don't get a say in how you think the country should go. You're also I mean, every job application you fill out asks if you're an American citizen or not. So you're not gonna get any kind of decent, livable job. You're gonna have to work 2 or 3 jobs for your whole life. Your life's gonna suck when you came here to try to find a better life, better way. So I feel like if you're not causing problems, you're not doing crimes, you're not doing, you're just going to work, you're getting your shit done, you're going home, spending a little money at the bar, whatever. There should be some sort of path to citizenship.
Uh,
And
I
I mean, I would assume that there is already. I mean, I guess probably not for illegals. You're probably put on some kind of a list. And I know the immigration system is really fucking slow. Some people will be here for 10 years on a visa trying to get their citizenship and then finally get it. I get that, but
pay to play.
that's the other part of it is, the immigration system definitely needs reformed. I'm sure there's parts of it that could be updated, upgraded to match the times we're in,
More of a Poland guy where men are lining up on the border of Poland to meet these Pakistanis, and they're like, "If you come over here, we're gonna beat the shit out of you." And they mean it too, and they did. And
Yeah,
guess what? The Pakistanis weren't there. The problem with like the whole citizenship thing is like, okay, you're not allowed to be a citizen, but your kids can be. Okay, let's just say you've been here for 10 years and you're doing fine, and then you commit a crime. And they're like, all right, we're going to deport you. So does your kid now end up in foster care?
right,
Or does your kid go
right.
with you? That's like a big, like, that's an issue.
They'd probably just toss them in the foster care system.
They would, and I think that also, like, I think immigration should be reformed, but I don't think it should be easy to be a citizen here. I don't think
No.
it should be an easy thing. I think you should have to work for it. I think that if I went to any European country right now as an American, they're not automatically gonna accept you. Shit, Tokyo,
Right.
Japan, you're rarely ever granted citizenship if you're a foreigner.
Yeah.
Rarely does that happen, and when you have these, here's the thing, we have to have non-open borders because we let in not only all these criminals, but that are from South America, we let
All
in
over
a
the world.
yeah, all over the world that came through those borders.
China and Iran mostly, but
China, Iran, Afghanistan,
yeah.
Pakistan, like there are all kinds. And not only that, but there's an economy on that. That's a problem. It just goes so deep. There's so many layers of
Yeah.
this conversation that it's like it's hard to have. I think there's got to be a middle ground somewhere, but it's going to take a lot of time and effort for that middle ground to be visible and then to be able to happen. Like you said, if you're just a dude, you and your wife came here and you just want to get a better situation than what you had somewhere else where there's a dictator or something that's going on. I feel for you, man. I understand that
Mhm.
we have a very big privilege to live here. Even now, with all this shit going on, we're still great. Like, we're still the bomb. We're still the shit. But
Yeah.
like at the same time, you don't have all the rights that we do yet. And if you do
Yeah.
make a mistake, it's not only going to be, and not a mistake, but like a violent crime or something like that. Your punishment is not only prison, but it could be, well, you're going to go back to where you came from. And if you
Yeah.
support a terrorist organization, you're going to go back to where you came from. Like,
I wish
Pride.
we had some kind of a Ellis Island type deal. One single port of entry where all these people could go, and you give them your name, where you're from, where you're going, what your intentions are, you know, and then let them run like a global background check or something, like call the country of origin or set up a system or something
Yeah.
to type your name in and your where you come from and that, and basically do a background check to see if you're worth a shit or not. And I'm sure they could set it up with fucking AI and it would be done in 4 seconds. You know, you could literally scan an ID or something, or like have them fucking sign up on a website or something, and then just have them come through and scan a QR code, and if that QR code says you're a piece of shit, then you don't get to come in, you know? But if you're coming here for a better life, like, have the well, I guess, I mean, people are coming from all over, so I guess one port of entry wouldn't be have one at the southern border, have one on each coast, and one at the northern border. Just have everybody file in through these port of entries, and then give them if they're worth a shit, give them a path to citizenship, but let
Yeah.
them get here and let them get working and set their life up so that by the time they get to be a citizen, they're ready to go.
Yeah. I agree. But all right, let's call it.
I'm no lawmaker.
I agree, I'm not either. But let's call it. Um Thanks everybody for listening. I appreciate your time. And we'll be back next week with another episode. I hope everybody who's
Yeah.
cold stays warm. And
Yeah, no shit. Keep your pipes from freezing.
y-
Stay
yeah.
warm. I didn't mean that. I just
No,
meant,
it's okay.
like,
No, it's okay.
property damage is a motherfucker.
That's all right. I'm poor. That's okay. That's all right.
Not
I just
not
want to
being
point it out.
not being able to not being able to take a shower sucks. I grew up
Yeah.
in a trailer house where if it was below 40 degrees, our shit was freezing. So I know all
Yeah.
about it. It's rough, especially if it gets cold enough. I mean, sometimes we're out of water for 2 or 3 days
Yeah.
because our shit was froze so solid. So I know all about it. But yeah, if I mean we're trying to grow this thing. If we're talking about some things that you like or some things that you don't like or some things you want us to talk about or whatever, maybe leave us a comment or send us a DM. Or Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, obviously Spotify. I think you said you was working on getting a school account
School.
set up.
Yeah.
So we're working on getting everywhere, and we appreciate every interaction because all that does is boost us in the algorithm. So like, share, tell your friends, don't tell your grandma,
Yeah. Grandma's not
but
gonna like it.
like I said, leave us a comment, send us a message, like it, share it with your friends, subscribe, follow, like, whatever. And we're gonna keep doing this thing and trying our best to make something of it.
Yes, sir. Well, everyone have a good night. We'll see you later.